Hello, it's saying I'm live. Hi, sorry I never give notice about going live. I don't know that I'm going to do it until I do it. Have you been live? Have you done live Facebook? Anyway, I don't really expect people to join me on a live. If I get the urge to go live, I'm thinking go for it. Just go with that momentum and hit live. And I wanted to talk about I've been feeling particularly lost and confused about what it is I'm doing this YouTube channel for over the last few days. And I've noticed particularly that I felt like I'm breathing really high up in my body and that I'm struggling to calm myself down. And yesterday I ended up clicking public for a load of shorts that I'd kind of made as I was going along, and I thought, "Ah, I I've made them. They've been made. They're uploaded to YouTube. Maybe I'll just hit public and share them." And then today, I just felt so foggy and so confused. I didn't really do much of anything today, besides my mom came to visit. And then I looked today and these shorts have got like 300, 400 views. And I was thinking, I'm just trying to analyze and think about what I'm doing. And clearly, I have no idea what I'm doing. But it's really lovely to think that even even shorts that I've made really quickly, people are watching and hopefully enjoying. I think a lot of them were about that I was overthinking problems, that I was having self doubt, that I was feeling confused, that I was trying to take some action and then second guessing myself. And I think that's what people relate to. And I would love to turn up today and say, hey, I've got the answer and you don't have to experience that anymore. And I'm going to tell you how to make decisions about your life and guarantee that you'll never experience any pain whatsoever and it's all going to go great. But I can't do that. And I suppose the second best option I can do is turn up and say, hey, me too, and share some of the journey and some of the things that I'm doing. And I say, I was just thinking that maybe we're all a little bit lost, and that was the title that I put. And part of me was wondering about maybe we need to have better language for how we talk about this because clearly I'm not completely lost. I'm not bouncing around from loads of different jobs and countries and everything else. I am trying to do a YouTube channel. I've clearly made a decision about that. I am writing books. I've clearly made a decision about that. I'm not bouncing around from loads of different I'm not writing a novel 1 minute and then a non-fiction book the next. So I have narrowed it down. I think it's that my expectation is that it would be laser focused about what it is that I'm going for, and it's not. It's kind of fuzzy. And so that's what's making me feel lost. But I suppose I'm reminding myself today that I have I have said no to quite a few things and I have showed up and I'm getting data and I'm finding out more information and having a go at things. And as I say, I wonder whether that sensation of feeling lost or confused is maybe we need other language to talk about it. I don't know how to talk about it and say that is what I'm feeling right now. But if I stop and think about it clearly, I have figured some things out. I think it's about expectations. I think it's that I expect it to be crystal clear. And I was thinking about goals today and the idea that, when you get closer to a goal, your goalposts move and well, that's what I do. And then it's almost like I never reach that goal and I never have that satisfaction and that party and that celebration. And I was thinking maybe instead of saying goalposts, we need to, or what I need to say milestones along the way. And as I say, I feel like there must be a better way to talk about it because I think there's power in words, in that to say that you're lost or you're confused almost makes it so, even more so. And yet to say that I'm feeling clear and focused feels like a joke. It feels like a lie. What's the middle ground? Oh, I know there's nobody here with me. Can you be here with me in soul and spirit and tell me what the middle ground is? What would be the middle ground? I'm half lost. Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you've heard of Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks. They talk about there's always a way to get from where you are to where you want to go. And they talk about it as if you're a map. And say not you're a map, you're following a map. And if you're going from one city to another city, there's always a way to go. And even if you get lost, it's almost like a sat nav that just recalculates and says, "Oh, from where you are now," and then it still helps you get to where you want to go to. And I feel like my map, maybe my map is recalculating. You know, in that annoying thing in sat nav when you take a wrong turn and it says recalculating or recalculating your route, or I think it just says recalculating, doesn't it? Maybe that's what my brain is doing right now. It's saying, recalculating, recalculating. What have you done? You've taken not necessarily a wrong turn, but you've taken a funny turn. We didn't know you were going to go that way. We thought you were going to go just straight. Recalculating. I'm not lost. I'm recalculating. Oh, dear me. I think one of the things I would say is if you are one of the people that have subscribed recently, because I've had a few people subscribe, and if you're one of the people that's been watching the shorts, thank you, because it is so encouraging to see some of the numbers and the views happening. And I wish I was clearer, and I wish I was offering more help. I hope that you're finding it encouraging that somebody is also feeling like you, that they're feeling that they're recalculating and starting again. Because that's kind of what it feels like with YouTube and the video. I set up a YouTube account over 10 years ago, and the videos that I made were, I felt very stiff and very formal and having a script and teaching something. And I just felt really uncomfortable telling anybody that I was doing that. And that wasn't my goal. That wasn't what I aspired to be. I didn't aspire to be somebody that was that polished and perfect. Well, not that they were polished and perfect. You know what I mean? I mean, that formal, that restrained. I wanted to be sounding like me when I turned the camera on. And I knew that those weren't. So I felt really embarrassed about them. And then I just stopped doing them for a long time because I didn't know what the answer was. And I think lately I've been going much more on intuition and kind of falling and snowballing into actions that I hadn't necessarily thought about. I've been doing these daily videos about documenting the journey. And I had not thought about, I thought about wanting to do videos, not thought about it, heard somebody say about documenting the journey, doing a daily video. They said, do a 1.5 minute video each day. And they said for a year. And I went, okay. And I just turned it on and turned the camera on, did the video, loaded it up. I'm not sure where that came from. That didn't feel like it was part of a plan. all I can say is that that was that gut instinct of this, and it feels like almost as if I was grabbing at something that I need to take action. I need to do something. And I have to kind of, oh, sorry, I spat a bit then. And I have to kind of propel myself forward because that feeling of that recalculating voice in my head of think about it a bit more, think about it a bit more, try and figure out what the right step is and what the end result will be and how fabulous it will be. And it's just I can't think about it anymore. I have to take some action. I have to move forward. And that was the biggest step that I could possibly imagine taking at that time. And thankfully, thankfully, it just kind of clicked. And I knew the technology of doing a 1.5 minute video. It really helped that he said 1.5 minutes. It really helped that the person who was talking about this was super crystal clear. He didn't say, do a video a day, because I don't think that would have been clear enough for me to stop and take action. I think I needed to have that feeling of it's 1.5 minutes, upload it to social media, which I did. I already had all the social media accounts set up, so I didn't have to figure anything out. I think that would have made it, I'm thinking bumpy path. What am I thinking? That would have made it too bumpy, too difficult to get started because all the other things were set up. And I thought, okay, 1.5 minute video, quickly. Duh. And the other thing he did was he said, you begin the video like this. I'm documenting the journey. This is day one. Follow me as I try and achieve my dream. And so that's exactly what I did for the first video. I started it like that. I have a feeling I possibly hit record and tried again a few times. So the first video I didn't do. Yeah, the first video I didn't post, but I just tried again. And then I think maybe the next time I went over 1.5 minutes and I thought, no, I'll stick to 1.5 minutes because it was so fast, that turnaround of just doing a 1.5 minute video, that having that focus and being that deliberate really helped me to say, okay, momentum, let's go, let's just post it. And then I didn't sleep that night. I was constantly checking social media. Who's watched it? What are they saying? Because I don't know whether you're sharing any videos or any posts. There's nothing safe about posting and putting things up on the internet. What you'd like to do, what I wanted to do, is put like a little firewall around it, just a little bit public. None of the people that I know, just a little bit public, just say 100 people. So that night, I remember I didn't sleep and I was constantly checking to see what had happened. And part of me felt sick, as in nobody's watching it. I've made a fool of myself. And part of me was feeling sick, as in somebody might watch it and now I've made a fool of myself. I was worried about too many people. I was worried about not enough people, like having zero views. Every I really had no idea what was about to happen next, and it made me feel sick. And then I did it the next day. Hey! And then today is day 82 of doing it, and I still don't know what's gonna happen each time I upload a video, and it's not hugely pleasant, if that makes sense. But there is a sensation of future me is gonna be happy. Kind of current me is happy that I've tried it, because instead of talking about things saying, "I'd like to be a creator," or "I'd like to write books," it's, "I'm having a go." It might not be pretty, and there might be people who are critical, about what I'm doing, but I'm kind of proud that I'm having a go. Oh, and I was wondering too, I was thinking the other day, I don't know whether you've seen Brené Brown. Brené Brown did the famous TED talk about vulnerability. And then later on, she was talking about a quote from, not sure who the quote is, it Teddy Roosevelt? And she's saying about in the arena. And she was saying she didn't want feedback from anybody else who was outside of the arena, just people who are in the arena being scared and then creating something. And I'm starting to feel a little bit choked up at the moment just thinking about it. I was feeling confused about what I was creating and where it was all going to. And I thought, well, what would Brené Brown say to me? Because I think I was worrying about what other people would say to me. And I thought, well, what would Brené Brown say to me? And I thought, she would just say, keep going. You're in the arena. You're going to get your ass kicked sometimes, but you're in the arena. And I've been seeing loads of things lately about Taylor Swift. And I just thought, and what would Taylor Swift say? She would say, you're in the arena. You're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to figure it out. But what you're doing is really brave. And I thought that is the people that I care about. There are other people that are creating stuff, the people that, I mean, beyond successful. And I suppose at the time I was thinking maybe I'm a bit embarrassed that I don't have everything sorted. And I thought these people who are the most successful on the planet, if they looked at me having a go at doing these little videos, what would they say? I don't think that they would crush me. I think maybe they'd find it funny, but I think they would say, "That's brave. That's brave. You're having a go." And I suppose that was what I thought, I'll come on here and I'll share that with you, that if you're not sharing content or ideas or there's some kind of reinvention that you want to do, that you may be worried about what other people are going to say about you, but there's going to be lots of people watching who are already in the arena saying, that's brave. They're reinventing themselves. They're having a go at something. They're sharing some art. They're making a little video. And I don't think that if we're figuring out something, are told that enough that other people looking at us are thinking that's brave. They're lost, they're confused, they they haven't got, you know, I think what people would see in me is that being outside of my head, I think they would say, "Oh, it's obvious what Joanne should be doing or should be talking about." But me inside my head, there's too much going on. It's not at all clear. It's not at all clear, and I think that may be I mean, maybe you're clearer than me. I hope you are. But I think people outside would say, you may be a bit lost, you're just starting, you're figuring it out, it's brave and it's exciting. I've been watching a few creators lately, and it's clear that they're figuring out their message and they're figuring out their audience. And I've definitely hit subscribe and thought, this is going to be interesting, and see what they do. And sometimes they've experimented. I watched one lady and she was doing a painting tutorial and she just did some music in the painting, and that's nice. And then the next time she was chitter-chattering on it, and I was like, "Oh, I like the chatting," and I was giving her that feedback. And I just thought, "Oh, how exciting and how brave," because I knew that she'd held back on the chitter-chattering in her video. And I thought, "Oh, I really wanna tell her that I like that bit." I like hearing her say, "Mm, that tree didn't go as I thought it was gonna go." I like that. I like getting to know them. I know there's a couple of people here. I think the dog's knocking at the door, by the way, so that's why I'm looking over there now. Do you have any questions, or do you need a push to be creating or trying something new? if you've got a question, I'm happy to try and help. I can't promise anything. Yes, I was talking about, so the title of this was about feeling a bit lost. I said at the beginning, I wish there was another way to describe it because it's not a sensation of being utterly lost. It's that sat nav recalculating, recalculating. I'm not sure where you are or where you're really going, but we've got some data points here. That's kind of what's happening at the moment. Do you have any questions for me or any comments? Or can I encourage you? Is there something I can encourage you to do if you're listening to this? No, I don't know what else to say because I've kind of run. Now I've noticed that there's a couple of you watching. I'm completely distracted. I would have been better if I hadn't looked at the view counter type of thing. We're all figuring it out. We're all recalculating new information, learning new information about ourselves, and we thought that we'd found a path, and then we go, oh no, we need to course correct a bit. I was speaking to somebody this morning and they were saying that's what life is. It's always these course corrections. And the trouble is, it doesn't look like that. When I look at other people's lives, it looks so clear, like they planned it right from the start. My husband's worked in aviation and he's an engineer, an engineering mind as well. And if you look at his career based on his LinkedIn profile, it looks like it was planned all along and he knew exactly what was going on. And yet, obviously, behind the scenes, I know that a lot of things were complete accidents. You know, he was working, he left the RAF before he was meant to be leaving the RAF, and then he found a job, and then there was a load of redundancies, and then it was kind of last minute finding a job and in a slightly different area of work, and then suddenly he's working in an airline, and then he's not working, you know. So behind the scenes, you can see that some of these were just luck, kind of what was the next job that came up when he was looking for a job. But that's not what it looks like when you look at LinkedIn. It looks like a deliberate, focused, sharp career choices of that's what he's after. And I think I've mentioned this before is we're comparing how we feel inside to how others people look on the outside. I hope that helps you. If you're feeling like everybody's got it together but me, then I hope that helps you feel like that you can have a go and try something new. There's a couple of people that have answered questions on my community page, and they've said they do know what they're doing. I'm kind of jealous. It's like, okay, that's nice. So if you're one of the people that's replied and said that you do know what you're doing, I'm pleased for you. A little bit jealous, but I'm pleased for you. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'm going to be leaving you. And there you go. I can't see any questions. I'm not sure if it's taking a long time to come up, but I don't see any questions. I'm not sure what time it is there for you. Here in the UK, it's just gone 9 o'clock on the night. The dog is making noises at the door because I've shut the door. Anyway, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for joining me. It's nice to know that somebody's here. And I hope when you see this, it's a sense of encouragement that there's other people out there figuring things out and that you give yourself a pat on the back for even just thinking about trying something new and I don't know, reinventing yourself or considering the fact that you could be even more fulfilled with things that you want to do in life. And it might be that you don't know anybody in your immediate world that's doing those things, but you're going to have a go and experiment. And I hope you feel encouraged by that. So you take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.